My fellow Americans, it's long past time we end the forever wars, which have cost us untold blood and treasure. I bear responsibility for fundamentally all that's happened. We have to prove again that America says what it means and means what it says. I give you my word with all of my heart. It's time to bring those troops home.
I was suggesting we bomb Belgrade. I was suggesting that we send American pilots in and blow up all the bridges on the Drina.
A lot of war crimes being committed.
I was suggesting we take out his oil supplies.
For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power. I have long argued that we should bring home the vast majority of our combat troops from the wars in Afghanistan and the Middle East.
President Bush is right to be concerned about Saddam Hussein's relentless pursuit of weapons of mass destruction and the possibility that he may use them or share them with terrorists.
And I will vote for the Lieberman-Warner amendment to authorize the use of military force against Iraq.
A lot of war crimes being committed.
Iraq was a problem that had to be dealt with. It was a right vote then, and to be a correct vote today. If we can make the case that the threat is real and dire, that a free and democratic Iraq, if it could be accomplished, could have a cleansing impact on that part of the world and make our life easier significantly down the road, which I think could be made in an ideal circumstance.
But the price, we think the price is worth it.
Why did my brothers and sisters die in Iraq and Afghanistan? We actually fought in your damn wars. We fought in your wars. You sent us to hurt civilians. We hurt civilians. You pushed us out to do it.
For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power.
Right after 1994, and you can ask the Attorney General this because I got a call when he introduced the Patriot Act. He said, Joe, I'm introducing the act basically as you wrote it in 1994.
And we should end our support for the Saudi-led war in Yemen. And I would also, as pointed out, I would end the subsidies that we have, end the sale of material to the Saudis, who they're going in and murdering children and they're murdering innocent people. To those who carried out this attack, as well as anyone who wishes America harm, know this: we will not forgive. We will not forget. We will hunt you down and make you pay. We will respond with force and precision at our time, at the place we choose, in the moment of our choosing. For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power. My fellow Americans, the war in Afghanistan is now over. It's time to look at the future, not the past, to a future that's safer, to a future that's more secure. I stand here today for the first time in 20 years with the United States not at war. We've turned the page. We must commit now to be in this fight for the long haul. We must remain unified today and tomorrow and the day after, and for the years and decades to come. It will not be easy. There will be cost, but it's a price we have to pay, because the darkness that drives autocracy is ultimately no match for the flame of liberty that lights the souls of free people everywhere. Vladimir Putin has been planning this for months, as we've been saying all along.
I think the one place where the greatest consternation would be caused in the short term.
A lot of war crimes being committed. For weeks, we have been warning that this would happen.
Would be to admit the Baltic states now in terms of NATO-Russian, U.S.-Russian relations. And if there was ever anything that was going to tip the balance, were it to be tipped in terms of a vigorous and hostile reaction, I don't mean military, in Russia, it would be that.
It's an example, one of the oldest human impulses, using brute force and disinformation to satisfy a craving for absolute power and control. Putin is the aggressor. A dictator bent on rebuilding an empire will never erase a people's love for liberty. Putin chose this war. There's even a story about Ukrainian parents naming their children, not a joke, their newborn child, Javelin or Javelina, not a joke. He rejected every good faith effort the United States and our allies and partners made.
When I wrote the note, Sullivan's come back to me, VFR, saying you need Biden, and I said probably tomorrow for an attaboy and to get the deets to stick. So okay. Biden's willing.
Okay, great.
A lot of war crimes being committed. For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power. Thank you. Thank you, and may God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.